Here is the one, the only Slixton! Hey, thank you, gracious host Bart. Appreciate it. So nice to be here with all of you. Let's start off by clearing up any misconceptions. No, I did not have some sort of Gorilla Glue accident. But at least, being bald and doing comedy makes it easier to come up with jokes right off the top of my head. That's not so bad. I grew up with Star Trek, The Next Generation. I don't know if you guys remember that. Will I end up being bald just like Captain Picard? God said, make it so. And my hairline disappeared with warp speed. Yes, and ever since I've been baldly going where no man has gone before. Cheesy, yes. Yeah, it's such an honor to be here. Like Bart was saying, I won a contest to get this spot. I guess some of those special favors finally paid off. Yes, well, at other contests, all I was left with was just a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, so I live in the Canadian countryside. Some people say that's obvious by the way I sound. Sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. But at least, when I'm outside practicing my jokes, I can get used to hearing nothing but crickets. Yeah, so we had a windstorm here recently, and my no trespassing sign snapped. Now I just have a no assing sign. I don't know what that is, right? Maybe we should get one of those in here, right? Someone's on the line, it's like, hey bud, you're being a bit of an ass. We don't tolerate that here in the Soapstone. Actually, it's a little bit rough out in the country. Like my neighbor, he hurt his hand in one of those log grinding machines. It's okay. He said he was feeling chipper. That's a painful joke, yes. My neighbor is well taken care of, right? Up in Canada, like most of the developed world, we have universal health care. In the United States, instead of healthcare, you guys have GoFundMe and Mr. Beast videos. Yeah, a bit of a hot button subject there. Speaking of hot button subjects, at least in the United States, Roe v. Wade. That's a hot button issue. Up in Canada, in the countryside, Roe v. Wade is how we deal with river crossings. Right? Your way across, you gotta wade your way through. Yeah, this is fun. Yeah, it's not that much different out in the country. Like in the city, for food delivery, you guys use DoorDash, right? Out in the country, we use DeerDash. You're driving down the highway, right? You hit a deer right through your windshield, right on your dashboard. Fresh organic venison. Yeah, like sometimes in the city, ladies will ask, "Do I look like Selma Hayek?" Out in the country, ladies ask, "Do I want to sell my kayak?" This is fun. Yeah, like in the city or most everywhere, people use TikTok. Out in the country, we talk about all the ticks. Oh. Yeah, I had 3 on me yesterday. Yes. Gross. Yeah, like if you hear that there's lots of ticks and mosquitoes out in the country, that sounds awful. You just have to spin it into a positive, right? Every time I leave my house, there's hordes of thirsty females trying to use me to make babies. Smart room, keeping up. That's great. Speaking of smart, actually, recently 3 physicists won the Nobel Prize for measuring the shortest period of time ever measured. It's a billionth of a second. They call it the attosecond, and it's also what's needed to measure the modern human attention span. Society, right? Yes. This is fun. This is great room, great energy. I needed a little cheering up myself, actually. Maybe it's TMI, but I got some bad news recently. I found out the woman I was seeing, turns out she was seeing somebody else. Her husband. Yeah. Well, she told me she was a bird lover, and I believe her now because she really seemed to enjoy a cockatoo. Awesome. Yes, you guys have been an amazing crowd. My name is Richard Slixton. I'm going to disappear just like my hairline. Okay, thanks, everybody. Yes.